Welcome to the Urban Pathways Virtual Gala. Our program will begin shortly. Before we begin, let's do some housekeeping checks to ensure you're getting the best viewing experience. Are you viewing tonight's gala from your computer? If not, please log in to the Virtual Gala webcast platform from your computer. Email development@urbanpathways.org if you do not have the link to the platform. Viewing on your computer is preferable to using a tablet. Are you using Google Chrome or Firefox to view the gala? If not, please close this window so you can log in using a preferred browser. Do you have other browser tabs open? Close all other browser tabs. Please limit all streaming on your Wi-Fi as much as possible. Our virtual gala will again be interactive. If you don't already have your phone, please go ahead and grab it. On your phone, head to urbanpathwaysgala.com or scan the QR code to register for our online auction and live pledge drive. Now is the time to bid on auction items, and the auction closes at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Please keep your phone nearby. It will come in handy later in the program. If you experience any tech issues with the audio or video, please click on the Tech Support button. Our tech wizard Mike will be able to assist you with all your tech needs. Of course, no virtual event is complete without a hashtag, and we'd love to share some selfies on social media. So please use hashtag UPVirtualGala2021. And now for some final reminders. On your phone, head to urbanpathwaysgala.com or scan the QR code to register for our online auction and live pledge drive. The auction closes at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Thank you so much for your attention. Please sit back and enjoy the show.
Good evening, good humans, and welcome to the 2021 Urban Pathways Virtual Gala. I am your host, Bill Weir of CNN. I'm going on maybe a 15-year friend of Urban Pathways, and so honored to be back for another gala that pumps the lifeblood into some of the most amazing work done for the chronically homeless of New York City. I'm still feeling the goosebumps from Sterling Strings. Hopefully you got a chance of their genius, this boutique group of musicians. They play big concert halls and subway stops, and we're so honored to have them setting the mood, moving our souls with those strings tonight. Man, little did we think a year ago, or maybe we did dread that we'd still be doing it this way. But maybe as a good omen, we got the word today from the CDC that if you're fully vaccinated, you can free your face indoors and out. Congratulations on, I guess, victory over Masks Day, VM Day. I would love to see people throwing their masks in the air in Times Square and kissing strangers. I guess that's a little too soon for that, but at least it is a sign of normalcy, and hopefully your end of the tunnel of darkness that we've all experienced together. For those who've lost anybody, our deepest condolences. It's been an incredible year challenging wise for Urban Pathways street teams. We're gathering to celebrate another year of them making tremendous difference in the lives of thousands of chronically homeless neighbors of ours here in this city. And we gather to celebrate another year of making a tremendous difference, not just in their lives, but in ours, giving us a chance to give back and see the difference it can make. I'm so grateful to be part of this community, especially generous souls like you who tune in for this every year. Hopefully we'll be back live, but tonight we're going to make it as virtually as exciting as we can. This organization is all about giving folks on the street the tools they need to stay off the street and stay in housing. And we really appreciate it if you could support with all you have. The other bright spot has been the stock market lately. It's still tough for some folks out there, but if you've reached some blessings of the bounce back, hopefully you will pass it along tonight. We want to remind you that we have lots of usually centerpieces at our normal galas, something to take home with you. And this year is no different. We're sending out this fantastic caring neighbor bag. It's full of vital essentials for somebody you might see struggling out there: socks, protein bar, maybe a mask if they still need PPE. Anybody who signed up for tickets tonight probably already has one in the mail. If you give $125 or more tonight, you'll get one of these as well to do your good in your neighborhood. Most importantly, it's just a sign of caring. And that's what tonight is all about. And that's something that I sort of stumbled into when I first came across this. A reminder, though, before we get into the program, that the online auction page is already open. Hopefully, you've already scoped out all the goodies that are on there. You can go to urbanpathwaysgala.com to bid before the auction closes at 9 tonight. So you got almost a couple hours to figure out what you want and get some heated auction bidding going. We're going to have the live auction with Harry later. That's always a highlight of the show. But a little background about me and maybe a way to set the table here. I happened upon Urban Pathways just looking for a good cause, a way to give back in my new hometown when I moved here, almost 20 years ago. And been to galas on and off over the years, but really fell back in love a few years ago when we did a program at CNN called Champions for Change. And we go out and try to celebrate an organization or a person who's really making a difference. And I nominated my friends here at Urban Pathways. In 2019, I got to go follow some outreach teams and got a new appreciation for what they do. We went into Madison Square Park. I met a couple friends, Robert Burrows, Robert Offley. Here's a little look at their story and how far they've come.
Last year, CNN's Bill Weir introduced us to some former homeless people and the program that gave them a leg up. It's called Urban Pathways, and it turns the traditional approach to addiction and homelessness upside down. Bill recently checked back in and gave us this progress report.
In the richest city in the world, a place with so much to see, it's a sight that makes most look away.
Hello?
But they lean in.
Are you all right?
In 2018, we met the Angels in Orange from Urban Pathways.
Are you okay?
Out here, rain or shine or constant rejection.
You all right?
All with the hope of moving chronically homeless folks like Robert, not just into a shelter for the night.
Look how big my bathroom is.
Wow.
Bam!
But a place of his own forever.
I got a shower, and I got a hand shower.
For generations, an American had to get clean and sober before getting any shot at help with housing. But mental illness and addiction and years in scary shelters instead creates an expensive treadmill of emergency rooms and jails. Urban Pathways believes in housing first. On behalf of your friends at Urban Pathways, welcome home.
Thank you, sir.
Just a few years after they found him, Robert Burrows is now a full-time social worker.
We identified particular individuals that were able to live on their own. He was one of them.
And he proved you right. After
Exactly.
a year and a half, he proved
Exactly.
you right. Looks just like brand new. You take good care of.
It's phenomenal. I love this building. I love this building. I love this neighborhood.
Not only is he now working full-time, he's shown that he's able to do it, finish school, even during the pandemic.
But while he is thriving, our other friend from 2018 is sorely missed.
They saved my life, man. They saved my life.
The physical toll of decades on the streets caught up with Robert Offley since we met. But his life ended with comfort and dignity and love that began when Urban Pathways leaned in. And it's so much easier to just look away.
They are somebody, and the best part is to see them come through at the end. 10 years down the line, you see them, you won't even recognize them. It
was so amazing to see Robert surviving, thriving there. And Robert Offley, a lot of clients aren't as receptive, aren't as giddy to get that bathroom with 2 showers the way he was so movingly. It takes some convincing and some trust. It takes a relationship. You have to show up every day. And nobody really embodies the spirit of that can-do, stick-to-it perseverance than our next speaker tonight. In his first days of this pandemic, Fred Shack had to come and tell his teams, we're going to keep at it. While everybody's going home and bunkering down, we have clients still out on the streets. He worked with senior staff and board members, making safety a real priority. worked with donors, foundations, corporate partners, got PPE donated, Wi-Fi access on tablets, funds to pay for differentials, meal stipends at the essential workers, all of the essential workers for Urban Pathways. And thanks to his efforts and the board of directors, all the men and women who make up Urban Pathways, overall infection rates at this group were among the lowest of any of the supportive housing providers in New York City. And he's rode this storm and he's not given up, of course. He's been at the helm of this place through 4 presidents and countless mayors, and he's sticking with it here tonight. Please welcome Fred Shack, the Chief Executive Officer of Urban Pathways. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Gala.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you so much for helping homeless New Yorkers tell their story and for being such a good friend and a supporter of this organization. I'd also like to thank all of you who are with us tonight. It's been an extremely challenging year, but Urban Pathways and tonight's honorees, our essential workers, adapted. We worked with the City of New York to provide services and housing to our 60 clients who were in our drop-in center. We moved them from the drop-in center to a Manhattan-based hotel. We worked with the public and private partners to obtain PPEs for both our clients and our staff, as Bill has indicated. We provided supplemental food packages for our clients during the pandemic. We also provided our clients with safety education through posters, newsletters, and most importantly, through role modeling. One of the reasons why our infection rates were so low is because our clients and our staff really cooperated as a community to keep everyone safe. We learned how to use Zoom to keep informed and to also be able to respond quickly to new developments. We continued our advocacy on behalf of our clients and other nonprofits in the sector to ensure that our staff and our clients were able to receive priority access to the vaccines. Now, as we slowly begin getting back to the new normal, we're looking forward. However, we continue to work on the issues that arose during the pandemic: social isolation, food insecurity, and financial insecurity. We have not forgotten our mission, helping people leave the streets and move towards a life of stability. We're working with our public and private partners to expand our portfolio of housing for formerly homeless adults and individuals and for low-income New Yorkers. We are also working with the city to develop a second drop-in center in Midtown Manhattan. And we're opening a 4th safe haven this summer in the Bronx. We're also moving ahead with other permanent supportive housing projects in both the Bronx and in Manhattan. We've upgraded our IT capacity at most of our locations, and that's a project that continues in order to adapt to the changing times. We've also been working to provide tablets to our clients and laptops to our case managers and other workers so that they can work remotely and remain safe, but also remain engaged and connected with our clients. The reality is that this has been a very difficult year for a number of reasons. But when the George Floyd murder occurred, there was a racial awakening in this country. We at Urban Pathways started an anti-Black racism task force to address diversity, equity, and inclusion at Urban Pathways. And the board of directors, they're also very deeply involved in these issues, and they've established a board diversity committee. None of what we've accomplished or plan to accomplish would be possible without the contributions and the continued support of our foundation supporters, our government partners, individuals like yourselves, and most importantly, the essential workers, the folks who continue to do this work during the pandemic, putting themselves at great risk. I'd like to express my appreciation to some of the people in the organizations that help make this work possible. Starting with my board of directors, they really rallied around the cause during this change. I'm so grateful for their leadership and for their partnership and their support. Our major foundation supporters helped us through the worst of the pandemic, providing grants for food and PPEs and pay differential for our essential workers. Our associate board, amazing group of young people who put together 1,000 holiday gift bags in the midst of a pandemic, organized the event, made sure that each and every one of our clients received something for the holidays. Many of our clients could not see their family or friends during the holidays, and the holiday gift bags were a sign that there were people in the city who cared about them. Our corporate sponsors and supporters, we have some amazing corporate sponsors, and you can see those organizations listed on our website, on our webpage. However, I want to give a special note to our platinum sponsor. We had one anonymous platinum sponsor who gave us a tremendous gift towards this event tonight. Our gold sponsors, Estee Lauder, Beth and David Shaw. Our silver sponsors, the Rockefeller Group, Ropes and Gray, Skadden Arps, our board president, Shep DeChesire, and our silver sponsors, Peter Bress and Adam Heff. I'd also like to thank Harry Santaolalla. You'll meet with him or you'll see him later this evening. He's been a major supporter and a friend of this organization, and I'm sure you'll enjoy your time with him tonight. Tonight, you will also see how your support makes a difference in the lives of so many others. As we honor our essential workers and recognize the sacrifices that they make every day while juggling home, family, and other commitments, especially during this pandemic. And also, we want to give an acknowledgement to our client population. Their tenacity, their resilience, their ability to cope with all of the challenges that we were confronted with really did assist us in moving this program and this organization forward. So we're about to show you a video that shows you how the lives are changed by the work that we do, that our essential workers do, and quite frankly, that our clients do on their own behalf. The video will feature 3 of those lives, of the thousands of people that we work with, and how they are not defined by their past history of incarceration or their struggles with addiction or mental illness. The first person is a man, a former client, who is now a Urban Pathways employee, part of our facilities team at our Crotona Park Supportive Housing residence. He relates how he overcame his challenges and how he looks forward, never looking back. The second man, who is living on his own in an apartment, is in our Scattered Site Apartment program, living and thriving in a community setting. And the third is a woman who lives in one of our supportive housing residents. She is taking steps to stabilize her life. She's developed the skills that she needs to live the life that she wants to live. Our clients are not their labels: mentally ill, living with addiction, living in the shadows of incarceration. They're more than that. We help them to create the life for themselves beyond their labels.
My life before was basically a living hell.
Chaos used to be a form of comfortability for me.
Nobody listened to what I wanted. They just assumed that they always had it right, and they didn't.
I spent 6 years in jail. They take away your body, but they don't take away your mind.
All through life, little losses that people would find as like, a little depressed here and there was like very hard for me to get over.
My addiction took away from me my family life. It stole my sense of belonging.
I know how it is to end up in the hospital or drug overdose. Believe me, I know.
Being homeless on the street is rough because you only could take but so much.
And going from shelter to shelter and rehab to rehab.
I came to the realization that I did need help.
I need some type of organization that'll, give me a chance or give me the resources to help me out. And Urban Pathway gave me a chance.
Urban Pathways helped give me my life back.
Urban Pathway saved me from a path of destruction.
Urban Pathway has led me to find a home.
It showed me how much more I can get out of life.
We are not dictated by our past. And we are also not defined by the fact that, I don't feel defined by the fact that I have a mental illness.
I I get up, I have a routine, you know. I go to work at night, come home in the morning, take a shower, go to sleep, back to work, do what I gotta do to be independent.
Independence now means to me living free of negativity. Not everybody has that good feeling inside. And when you taste something good, it gives you a good feeling. When my family has a function, usually I would make a pan of baked ziti. I love to see people's face when they taste it afterwards. It brings me a lot of pleasure, you know.
I think about the past, but I won't go back to the past. In the past, I wasn't in a position to do certain things. In the past, I didn't have a place to live at. I didn't have the keys to open up my door. I would tell the 9-year-old version of me that you made mistakes in your life. You made plenty of mistakes. Try not to make them same mistakes again.
It's all about grace and empathy and giving folks a second chance. I'm working on a book project currently, and I made reference to the Good Samaritan, which is a phrase we all know despite whatever faith we were raised in. And I decided to go back and look it up and try to get more context. And what's interesting about the man in Jesus' story who stopped to help a robbery victim is that he was crossing from Samaria to Judea, which were kind of like the Texas and New York of the day. They were bitterly divided politically. They had been united under King Solomon, but were fractured. And so the Good Samaritan was especially good because he wasn't welcome in the land he was stopping to help in, and he wasn't welcome back at home for having left it. And in these bitterly divided political times, it resonated with me as something, if that's the example that the founder of this massive religion used, what inspiration should that be for all of us who can easily get bogged down in the politics of the day? But that's why you're here. You're testament to the Good Samaritans of the modern age of 2021. We thank you for being here. We thank you for already getting in on the auctions. And a reminder that anybody who donates $125 or more has a fantastic Good Samaritan toolkit right here, complete with socks, which is the #1 requested item, masks, a little food, hand sanitizer, and of course a card to help direct them to a drop-in center where hopefully they can start the path to getting off the streets permanently. And now is when most of the ammo for that fight is stored. This is the part of the program where we sort of ask you to tap into your inner Good Samaritan and reach for the checkbook. You know the man who's about to take over from previous galas. Keeps stealing the show with costume changes and his infectious energy. He's been stateside from the UK for many years, raising a lot of money for very good causes. And as you can be able to tell by the backdrop, we're neighbors. We're accidental neighbors here as you see the sunset down over the Brooklyn Bridge. We're both on the Brooklyn side of that beautiful spot. And Harry Santolala, it is so great to see you again, my brother. Happy Gala night.
Hi, Bill. How are you? It's good to see you again. Isn't it funny that I can literally see my apartment just over your right shoulder, which is pretty cool. So we're representing pretty strong here. And by the way, it wasn't me that stole the show last year. I believe it was actually your brand new infant son. So I hope you're all sort of surviving well over there, and you're literally a stone's throw away. So hopefully we will be meeting in person very soon.
Absolutely. Now that the masks are off, we can sort of mingle again. You know, when I was a boy, I used flashlights or a string, 2 cans with a string to talk to friends. Who knew what miracles of technology awaited us as we grew up? But please take it away and raise us a lot of money tonight.
I'll do my best. As always, thanks a lot, Bill. Right. Let's get this done. How are we? How is morale out there? I can see you're all getting fired up in the chat feature. I love that. As always, I'd obviously far rather be in person with you together under one roof. Those of you who know me or have seen me in action know that I'm sort of running around like a lunatic in the room trying to raise money. But I have to stay right here on this cross on my kitchen floor. So I want to see you getting as engaged as possible in the chat feature. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Who you're thinking about when you're donating. Why does Urban Pathways mean so much to you? And just have some fun with it. All right. We really, really need to raise a lot of money tonight. And last year was wildly successful in the virtual space. Here we are again, 12 months later. Your phone should be in your hand. I'm starting my timer here. Your phone should well be in your hand by now, because you should have already have gone to urbanpathwaysgala.com. That is where the Givergy fundraising platform is, and you can be bidding on things. The online auction is actually going to be closing. You have until 9 p.m. Eastern tonight to win your items, but it's also where you're going to be making your donations. So just grab your phone and get to urbanpathwaysgala.com. It's actually just as easy. If you want to, you can just scan that QR. Oh, it's always in reverse, isn't it? There's a QR code up there. Scan the QR code. It's also going to take you to the fundraising platform. And if you don't know what a QR code is at this stage, where on earth have you been for the last 15 months? Come on. If you're struggling to use the QR code, grab someone small nearby. They'll show you how to do it, or just click on the QR code. But in an ideal world, you're using your cell phone to donate. That's a lot of the housekeeping out the way. Tonight, there are over 48,000 men, women, and children sleeping in the streets of New York City shelters. So 48,000, think about that number. I'm actually going to take this out of my ear. The production team are like, no, Harry. I feel far, far better off with just you, no one in my ear nattering away. At 48,000 men, women, and children are sleeping in New York City shelters tonight. And that's 18,000 men and women who have no place to call home but a shelter bed. And more than 3,800 adults live on the streets themselves, not in the shelters, in the subways, in office vestibules. And at least half of these homeless single adults have serious mental illnesses. And we saw a little bit about that earlier on. And over half of them became homeless after being discharged from psychiatric facilities. They often struggle with addictions as well. So it's absolutely vital we get this phase right. Start donating now. I'm going to be talking through, just as I did last year, I'm going to be going through different levels, talking you through what that can mean for the organization. But let's get the Givergy leaderboard up so that we know where we're at, where we're starting at. We've already got $38,000 in the bag. Love it. And we've got 56 donations in already. Patrick Lee has absolutely got us off to a flying start. $43,000 raised already. Let's keep that up throughout. And I'm going to sort of talk you through everything because, of course, your support tonight will help Urban Pathways continue the work that they've been doing for over 45 years. They are providing an alternative to life on the streets. They understand that solving homelessness is more than just providing a place to sleep. As Fred mentioned earlier on, helping people to be more than their mental illness. That's what it's all about, helping them to be more than their addiction, more than their histories or their incarcerations. That's what this is all about. That's what Urban Pathways does. It provides a pathway to a future. So what does it cost? At the moment, it costs $38,000 to house a single adult in a New York City shelter, and just $24,000 to provide that same adult with housing and services in an Urban Pathways supportive housing residence for a whole year. So that's obviously a lot cheaper. It's a much better quality. And most importantly as well, it's saving money for the state and allows us to build relationships with these clients. So I cannot believe, if you haven't already donated tonight, then again, I'm just going to do one last call for it. Pick up your cell phone. It's very likely it's already in your hand. We're nearly at $50,000 already. 65 donations have already been made. Scan the QR code. If you've made a donation, get fired up in that chat feature. I want to know, where are you tuning in from, who you're watching with. I want this to feel absolutely awesome as you do it, because that is what it's all about, that little altruistic element that's inside each and every one of us. By making a donation, whether it's $10 or $10,000, you will be tapping into that altruism. And that is, nothing feels better. It just doesn't. And tonight, there are 48,000 homeless people that are absolutely counting on you to deliver again. So at $10,000, you will provide 6 months of housing and support for a formerly homeless person. So that's a safe place to call home and be part of a community. It costs, as I mentioned earlier, $38,000 to provide shelter to a homeless adult for 1 year, but it costs less than 1/3 of that to provide the permanent housing for 6 months with Urban Pathways. So at $10,000, I can see that we've got a donation at $10,000, of course, from Eric Ibsen and AJ Salhotra, both board members, both absolute legends. Where are they tuning in from? Let me know in the chat feature. Wherever you two are, my hat's off to you, Eric, and to AJ. I'm assuming you're over my shoulder in New York. Absolute heroes over there at $10,000. Right. At $5,000, you're going to be providing tablets for clients. So more and more services, healthcare, therapy, recovery groups, they're all virtual now. And clients, they need smart devices, cell phones, tablets. They need these things to stay connected, which is absolutely fine. I mean, what have we done for the last 15 months? What am I doing right now? I'm connecting with you virtually. It wouldn't be possible without the support of technology. Let's get that technology into the hands of the people that need it most. These people, without the connection to the therapists, to the support networks, to the community that Urban Pathways helps provide, it's devastating. And these are things that we take for granted. Many of us watching right now probably take things like tablets, laptops, iPhones for granted. We'll provide Urban Pathways with the support they need to keep their clients connected. So that's at $5,000, okay? At $2,500, we're now halving it down to $2,500. Let's have a look at where we're at. It's quite hard to sort of jump back and forth through all of the different screens here, but I'm loving seeing these donations. We're at $86,000. We're moving in the right direction. I am loving it. Thank you very much, Lillian, who is a rock star, by the way, behind the scenes. She really has been the driving force behind this and many, many other events. So a pleasure to work with you, Lillian. And at $2,500, you're going to be providing a month of supplemental food packages for people living in Urban Pathways supported housing residences. Okay, so Urban Pathways, it emphasizes, sorry, my dyslexic brain couldn't get around that one. It emphasizes total wellness for all of its clients. Good nutrition is the key component to total wellness. We know this. Many of us take that for granted. Well, provide a month of supplemental food packages that can set people onto the right track, okay? We are also going to be providing mental health training for the frontline essential workers so that they can continue to provide best-in-class care to the men and women that Urban Pathways serves. So at $1,000, mental health training for Urban Pathways essential workers is, of course, all about supporting the first responders. So the essential workers are often mental health first responders that, these are trained security guards, facilities techs, non-clinical staff to increase their ability to help clients in crises. Okay, so help at $1,000 provide mental health training for our heroes, the essential workers. These are the people on the front line. What were we doing during the pandemic? Many of us were sitting back at home complaining that we had to work from home. Well, cry me a river. This is all about supporting people who haven't even got a home. It's vital that we continue to fund Urban Pathways. We have a donation here from Adam Heft and from Marty Franken. Thank you very much. Donations are flooding in from Peter Brest, Robert Bolman, Stephen Rosen, Hillary Hirsch, thank you very much. Yale Mizari, thank you. Amy Katcher has come in strong. Vinny, and by the way, if I mispronounce your names, I'm sorry. People butcher mine the whole time. I only have 90 seconds left before we chop to another quick video just to remind us what this is all about. Shout out to Chris and Elena Miller and to Sherry Lobel. Thank you very much for tuning in. $500 supports advocacy for the homeless, okay? Help Urban Pathways and its critical and its clients have a voice. It's critical we get this right in the legislative process, the decision making that affects nonprofits and the homeless. Make sure their voice is heard. At $500, we have donations from Michael Innes Thompson, from Dan Katcher at $500. This is absolutely awesome. Thank you very, very much. And at $250, these are going to be providing move-in kits for new residents themselves. So these are essential items for clients moving into their very first home. Imagine what that feels like. Help provide the basics, the essentials, kitchen and bath items, bed linens, soaps, all the things that we, second nature to us. These are the first time that some of these clients are ever going to experience them in their first very own home. So that's at $250. Provide a move-in kit. Okay, where are we at? I'm going to move over here. All right, I'm still hanging in there. Noel, thank you very much. Jennifer Waters, Stephen, Pamela West, Eric Bensky. This is fantastic. I am loving this. Behind the scenes team, give me a shout out on the WhatsApp team. Where are we? Do you want me to? Okay, fine. Time is running out. Harry, you do not want to outstay your welcome. This evening, we are asking you to give, okay? The total, we're aiming for 100% participation. And at the moment, we got 116 donations. I know we can get way above that. Let's get to over 150 donations. I don't just want a donation from one member of each household tuned in. I want one from absolutely everyone tuned in. Someone might give $250, someone might give $25. Whatever you can do, you should be giving something. Get together, take a selfie at the end of it, send it through to the Urban Pathways team. This is a collective team effort. Another donation there from Chad Millman. Thank you very much. Okay, and also don't forget that $125, anyone who donated $125 or above, they will receive a Caring Neighbor bag, which I actually also have my Caring Neighbor bag here, which Bill went through earlier on. You'll receive that by mail, and you can then hand those out as well and feel extra altruistic. So that's at $125. So these are the new essentials that people can't live without right now. Masks, hand sanitizers, gloves, socks, they're all in that incredible bag. So at $50, this is the last increment. At $50, you will be providing monthly Metro cards. So we know how important they are to keep clients connected, keep them getting to and from medical appointments, job interviews, the next step into the exciting sort of future that they have. That's what the Metro cards provide. It's the basic little things. There's no reason why you shouldn't be giving $50. We can all give $50. Come on. That's a round of drinks in New York City. We know that. We can get this done and we can make a difference. So thank you to each and every, I will be back very shortly, but thank you to everyone who's donated so far. I want to get that number of donations right up before the end of the night. And tonight it's about everyone giving. So now I want to introduce the Vice President of Urban Pathways Board of Directors. It's of course, Erin Abrams.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Harry. Thank you for having me at the gala tonight. Every year at our gala, we honor an individual or organization that has made an impact on Urban Pathways through their service, their generosity, or both. Tonight, we honor Urban Pathways essential workers, the men and women who risk their health and lives every day to make sure our clients were safe, especially during the height of the pandemic when the city was locked down and most people rarely left the comfort and safety of their own homes. If any of you have known a nonprofit worker in your life, They'll tell you they didn't get into the profession for the glory or the pay. They pursued this career path because of a deep and abiding desire to make a difference in the lives of other human beings. We honor those who made sure our clients were not struggling alone during the pandemic. The ones who pitched in whenever needed and wherever needed, sometimes at great personal risk to themselves, to make sure that the job got done. The video you'll see next shows you just a few of the things our essential workers did over the past year. They'll describe in their own words what they did and why they did it. It's more than just their job. It's their calling. Tonight, we honor our essential workers for their commitment to our vision, for their professionalism and perseverance, and for their dedication in what have been extraordinary times. Who are these essential workers? They're the security guards, the outreach teams, the admins, the facilities technicians, the cooks, the case managers, the social services directors, the operations directors, and the program directors, among others. They're also the back office staff who made sure that the bills got paid and the supplies got delivered. They're the ones who came to the residences every day, where over 900 formerly homeless adults live safely as they continue to rebuild their lives. Why did they do that? Well, one of them summed it up simply by saying, because that's our job. They made sure our clients had what they needed during the height of the pandemic: food, PPE to help reduce the risk of getting or spreading COVID, and access to vaccines as soon as they became available. They made sure the clients who participate in Urban Pathways programs, the drop-in center, the safe haven, supportive housing, had a clean and safe place to stay. They made sure our clients were connected to healthcare and therapy and recovery groups, learning how to use Zoom and teaching our clients how to use Zoom in the process. They helped our clients reconnect with family and friends that they couldn't see in person. Most importantly, they made sure our clients knew that they were not alone, that there were people who cared about them and wanted to make sure that they had what they needed to get through this. I'd like for you all to take a moment and think about your greatest challenges during the pandemic. Our essential workers had to deal with all of these challenges in their own personal lives and more, whether it was mastering remote learning when schools closed down, making ends meet when a spouse lost a job or a business dried up, or taking care of elderly or sick relatives, dealing with food insecurity, processing social and racial injustice in their communities, finding affordable childcare, or even finding a safe way to commute to work. Yet they still got up every morning or night, because some of them worked the night shift, and came into work when most of us were rarely leaving our homes. All to help those in our communities who lack even the most basic thing that most of us took for granted this past year: a permanent home. Why did they do this? Because that's our job, they said. We honor these essential workers tonight.
I'm a security guard. I'm program director.
I'm the nurse. My role is essential during this epidemic because then I have to be more involved with the clients to let them know they're not being abandoned and to provide support.
During the pandemic, the professionalism, dedication, and compassion that staff demonstrates towards residents goes beyond just a job description.
This is a very needy population, and we have to make sure that they are receiving their meals, receiving their meds, and to keep them as safe as we possibly can.
We basically are their social supports, their housing supports.
With this particular population, it's easy for them to feel like they're being kind of left to the side, especially during the pandemic. So giving them attention and showing them that they matter
We get a lot of support from our Deputy Executive Director. We network with each other. We reach out to each other.
Urban Pathway have been helping me to pass the right information to my clients, where to go, what to do.
Constant updates from upper management through Zoom meetings, and also by inviting meals to me and to my staff.
We got the hazard pay for being essential workers, coming out here doing what we're supposed to do. Giving us resources, giving us, laptops and stuff like that to work from home.
I think they have really been very supportive as a whole.
I've learned that I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Honestly, feel like I'm helping. I'm doing my part.
I have learned the value of team that are supportive to each other.
Wow. What an unbelievable video. Same as last year. I mean, these videos are just absolutely stunning. It just reminds me of A, how fortunate many of us are, and B, how much support many people out there really need from us. And the response tonight has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. A text message has just gone out to many of you, letting you know that we're actually just under $10,000 away from our stretch goal tonight. So we've gone through our goal, but I want to hit that stretch goal. I want to hit it absolutely desperately. Again, I'm getting rid of the production team in my ear. I'm flying solo with you. Again, what a stunning video. It does make you stop to think about what the experience was like during this period for the Urban Pathways essential workers, what they did day in and day out to keep the citizens of our city, the city I call home now, safe. It's truly, genuinely, for me, it's like, think back to how you spent your pandemic. Compare it to those 335 brave essential workers that were out on the front line doing the hard work right there with the people that need it the most. Men and women who have shown up day in and day out during the pandemic, not just focused on them, but desperate to help others. And that is what Urban Pathways does and has been doing for over 45 years. So let's take these last couple of minutes. Let's just make sure if we haven't made our donation, I honestly have no idea why you're still watching me. If you haven't made a donation yet, all you need to do, pick up your phone, scan the QR code, or even just click the QR code. We're making it even easier. Some of you will have received a link as well in your cell phone. Just follow that link, make a donation. If you've made a donation, give again. Why not? Let's hit that stretch goal. Let's give the amount in support to Urban Pathways the best we possibly can. Let's support their essential workers. I'm so grateful to be part of this team. Obviously, I remember this time last year sort of closing out saying, I will see you in person together, all under one roof again. But sadly, it wasn't to be, but just unbelievable response from you, the supporters of Urban Pathways, the committee members, the board members, and the whole team, Lillian and the whole team that have made this happen. So I'm just so thrilled to be a partner with Urban Pathways. And again, thank you to each and every one of you. Now I'm going to be bringing Bill back, who has probably got a very similar sunset happening too. So there he is. You got a much more crisp camera than me as well, Bill. You're clearly a man in the business.
It comes with the job. COVID has taught us in TV, we can do live shots from anywhere now. And fortuitously, we timed golden hour with an amazing roundup of your generosity. Thank you, Harry, once again, for getting everything we could out of this virtual crowd here. And thank to all who gave. Now, if we were together under one roof, as Harry hopes for the future, we would have a fantastic art installation nearby in some fancy hotel. It is called Homeless and Garden by an artist named Ronan Gamel. He's Brooklyn based. And one day he was observing the city, seeing homeless encampments popping up next to multi-million-dollar housing developments. And so he juxtaposed throwaway items like flattened soda cans with representations of sort of high-end appointments like floor-to-ceiling windows. And his sculptures show how homelessness grows until it can almost be seen as an organic, unfortunate, unavoidable part of the cityscape. But hopefully we know better than that.
What inspired me to create Homeless and Garden is a condition that I saw in a green space, a public park that I worked in. I saw encampments of unhoused persons. Individuals living in the encampments would use the vegetation to hide themselves so that they can avoid eviction. I saw at the same time a proliferation of luxury condominiums and developments. Huge proportion of the world's population living in places that are informal. They're just basically encampments that come to be because people are excluded from housing. Many of these squatter settlements are natural environments, so the installation also is outdoors. The flattened drinking cans are seen as almost as a currency. The other material simulates high-end facades, ultra-modernist kind of materials. With homeless encampments also, you interact with the environment in a way to protect yourself. This kind of condition forms a type of landscape and a type of garden. Any landscape that is manipulated by any human intervention is in some sense a garden. There's something about contradictions. Because the condition itself is contradictory, to have so much wealth in a city, but also at the same time individuals are excluded essentially from housing. We generate the conditions for it to persist, but we could also change it. I'm really inspired by Urban Pathways. It's kind of inspiring to know that there's someone that is working on uplifting people, support for people that need it.
That is Ronan Gamel's sort of tale of two cities, his take on that story, and our thanks to him for helping us see our surroundings in a new way. And hopefully next time you're out, you might see the street teams of Urban Pathways in that signature orange you see on your browser right now. And you can know that you helped fuel their mission tonight. I'm happy to report we just got the number in. We have just raised over $121,000 tonight to support Urban Pathways and at-risk and homeless New Yorkers they serve. This is addition to the $500,000 that was raised. Even actually, I think it was over $600,000 that was raised over this evening. So well done. Sincere thanks to everybody who gave, large and small. Of course, it didn't happen if there's not a hashtag. So if you want to go on social media of your choice and throw up some selfies with the hashtag UP Virtual Gala 2021. We'd love that. And remember, the online auction is still going till 9 o'clock tonight. You still have time to bid and push that number even higher. A huge special thank you to our corporate sponsors tonight. Thank you for showing up, even though there was no table to buy and gather around. And if you received one, remember, the Caring Neighbor Bag is not swag for you. It's a chance for you to show somebody you care in your neighborhood, in your commute. You are invited to join the after party. If you'd like, you can go to Virtual Happy Hour in the upper left corner, select After Party, or you can rejoin another group. And you can feel free to hang around here and soak up the connected love we have going on tonight. And maybe enjoy another amazing performance by Sterling Strings. Our thanks to them for their genius as well. For all of us, for Lillian Roundtree, who puts this thing together with such devotion, and the entire staff at Urban Pathways, Fred Shack on down, I just want to thank you for showing up. I hope your year is pandemic free and full of love and joy and appreciation for all we have. I'm Bill Weir. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.
you.